Some kind of festival's gonna happen. I don't know. Could be an equestrian event coming, or I don't know. It's gonna be quite a big event. I watched them move the earth and prepare this whole thing. It's a huge space. So they have a schedule here in Okubasa where periodically they have a market here in Okubasa, and you can buy fruits and vegetables, different products. A lot of people come. Why not? It's kind of inefficient to farm here, to grow food for yourself, because there, farms everywhere. Everybody's growing food, and it's not that expensive. So why bother? All the work, fertilizer, compost, everything. Look at this. Beautiful peaches. Beautiful melon. Check this out. It's all from local farms. So here are some other goods. Plastic bits from China, stuff like that. Some really nice dogs just went flying through. It sounds really cool on the deck. Happy feet. They're really cute. So anyway, hello everybody. Nice to have you back again. It's a beautiful day here. It's partly cloudy, a little bit breezy, but it's warm. It's a great day to be outdoors running around, and so I am. Yeah, part of the video I'm making, just trying to figure out, how, all of these nouveau traditionalist or right-wing groups are coming together. They're not necessarily crazy people, but they want to live a simpler life, probably, because our world is highly complex, as I keep saying. But responding to the game thing, people often say that don't blame the player, blame the game, and that's okay. But what if you don't know how the game is played, where the game came from, how the game evolved, who made the rules for the game, or what organizations created the rules for the game? In other words, you don't know the game, but you want to blame something. So you look at the Bilderbergs or the Davos crowd or the government or the Democrats or the EU or the Fed or something like that. So for a lot of people who see patterns everywhere, and of course there are patterns everywhere, and we're pattern seeking animals, we like patterns, we like being aware of patterns and describing them and creating them. For people like us, it's easy to, come up with stories about how this group or that group is the cause of all our troubles and scapegoating them. As I said before, Ivan Illich was an interesting guy, philosopher and polymath. He studied history, and he was a Catholic priest, and he was a social critic and a sociologist. And he talked about the cost, the hidden costs of technology, modernity, medicine, and so on. And he was kind of ahead of his time. He recognized some things. His concerns were, poo-pooed back when he was around, but he was still well respected, and you can understand why people would want to simplify their existence and go back to a simpler time. It just makes sense, but unfortunately that's not going to work. What probably will happen is we'll have to pay the external costs that we've been ignoring for all these decades, many decades. When the catastrophe known as global warming finally becomes obvious to everybody because people are starving to death. At any rate, in our economy, we don't take into account material things, and material things that are scarce or diminishing. Our economists have a lot of tricks to keep us believing in this linear, always growing economy of ours, consumer economy, whatever. But if you look at all the different interlocking systems, interwoven systems, and you start to understand the rules, both the physical rules, the sociological rules, if you can call them rules, the legal rules and so on, of this wider global economic game we're playing, you can understand from a systemic and structural perspective what's going on. And you don't need scapegoats, you don't need conspiracies, you can just recognize the game for what it is. And then, should you want to, you could organize with friends and like-minded people to try to reform it or improve it or, change it as needed for the challenges that we're facing in the 21st century. So, don't blame the game, don't blame the player. Blame yourself for not being curious enough to understand where the game came from, the organizations and individuals who invented the game over time, how it evolved, what it is today, and then figuring out what you need to do to make it better. Okay, thank you. William T. Out. Cute dogs.